chefs of Reddit, what are some things people should learn to cook while self-isolating? Pizza dough. It's extremely easy, and fresh dough is delicious. I can only hope that people buying the store out of flour are making pizza dough and not just stacking it in their pantries. Pick your 3 favorite things you eat often. Search the web for recipes. Serious Eats, America's Test Kitchen, Food 52 are reputable sites that do good testing and aren't just a single self-proclaimed expert with a blog. Look at different recipes and note differences. Try them and tweak to your taste. I think the best thing home cooks can do with this time is figure out their perfect version of a favorite classic to impress friends and family with when this is over. But don't think about what chefs think is cool. Think about what you already like. Extra satisfying, when over time, you improve upon the original that inspired you. I never order short ribs in a Cabernet sauce in restaurants anymore because they're seldom as good as mine. Banana bread is useful. For when you overbuy bananas. You can quick ripen bananas by putting them in the oven for a few minutes on low heat, or you can freeze them to save for later banana breads. Fried rice. It's super easy to make, you can put almost anything in it, and it holds up well as leftovers. Hi, I'm from Taiwan, so we eat fried rice here at home very often. People here actually don't use sauce in their fried rice, so don't worry if you don't have any. The trick is to use as little oil as you can, just enough so that the rice doesn't stick to the pan. White rice works the best for me. As someone mentioned before, using bacon grease or other grease from meat allows the flavor to fully seep into the rice. I also like to use white pepper instead or black pepper, it smells amazing. If you use carrots or other add-ons that need to be stir-fried first, put the pepper then instead or later. You can also use some soy sauce. Also, the weird thing is, I have never left the rice overnight in the fridge. Haha. Does it actually make a difference? I think it's so cool that you guys use sauce on your fried rice. I have actually never heard of people using sauce on their fried rice before. Edit. Apparently some people in Taiwan use sauce, other than soy sauce, in their fried rice too, so I guess my family is just weird lol. Stew. Gives it comforting and you can use whatever you have usually. Or chili. Any soup that gets better for a few days after you make it. My life was changed when I started buying whole dried chilies, New Mexico, Pasilla, etc., toasting them, soaking in hot water for 30 minutes, and then blending to a paste. That and adding chorizo. Transcendent chili. Learn how to make stocks. Stock is literally just waste product. Vegetables, bones, the parts you aren't going to eat. Cook them nice and slow for hours, even overnight, with some basic seasonings, bay leaves, peppercorns, garlic. Great base for soups. Sauces is a great way to limit waste and can really help extend the yield from any product you buy. When in the position where you may not know where your next paycheck is coming, it's really important to get the most out of any food you buy. Edit. Since this is getting popular, here's a few tips. Never boil your stock. Low and slow is the tempo. A low simmer is the most you want. If using whole herbs, wrap them in cheesecloth and tie it off. This will make straining it much easier. Use a ladle periodically through the cooking process to skim any fats, oils off the top. Just practice with adding herbs and spices to things. A great tip is to smell the dish, then smell the herb. If they smell right, then it's a good thing to add. Practice with this will help you tailor meals to your personal taste and make your stuff have that little extra something. Bread. It's easy to learn, fun to make, and makes your house smell awesome. Shame there's no flour or yeast in the shops. I actually cook for a living and I'm unemployed now. I've been eating in order of expiration. First I have to get rid of milk and eggs, then celery, onions, carrots, potatoes, then frozen food, then pantry. So I ate pancakes for over a week, with a side of potato stew or mashed potatoes. Pancakes with just barely enough egg to form up. Being conservative. I almost had enough maple syrup to last, but I had to eat the last couple days with regular syrup. Hear me out, sounds kinda weird, but a savory pancake is now my go-to pancake. Put in the batter, shredded cheese, onion and melted butter. Tastes more like a stuffed Yorkshire pudding but is so delicious. Don't put syrup on it, just a bit of butter and salt and pepper. Edit. So many people like this. Here's the recipe. Adult pancakes, savory deliciousness. 1½ cups all-purpose flour. 3½ teaspoons baking powder. 1 teaspoon salt. 1 1/4 cups milk. 1 egg. 3 tablespoons melted butter. Handful of chopped green onions or leeks. Handful of grated cheese. Mix it all together and cook it like you would regular pancakes. Might have to flip them a couple times as they're a bit thicker. On top, just use a bit of butter and salt and pepper. Bon appetit. A good noodle or rice dish. Both can be stored well. Also, baking your own bread is a treat. Get good at making beans. A good bean dish, simple as it may appear, gives you insight into important food cooking processes. Dried beans can be soaked and fermented. You will need to cook the beans in a pressure cooker or pot on the stove for a decent amount of time. Once the beans are soft and tender, you will notice how much better they are than ones from a can. What texture do you want your beans? Keep them whole? Mashed? Refried? Add spices and or sauces to get the taste just the way you like it. Beans are a good way to practice getting your flavors on point, and teaches you to follow your tongue rather than a set amount of salt or oil etc. from a recipe. Home-cooked beans are also something that can be done really cheaply. You just need to have a little foresight, another quality of good cooks. One of the biggest jumps in quality, for example, is using good homemade beans in Mexican food as opposed to ones from a can. Chef for 10+ years. Homemade tomato sauce, freezes well and has so many applications. Put your own spin on it. Risotto, it's fairly easy to make and it impresses everyone when you make it for them. Plus, once you master the basic risotto, there are a million variations of it. Mushroom risotto is so good. Fairly easy to make. Tell that to Hell's Kitchen contestants. Learn to pickle, it's way easier than you think, and many things can be pickled for flavor in an afternoon with nothing but a jar and some vinegar. I like pickled red cabbage and onions. Learn to make actually good salads, not that Olive Garden bullshit. Integrate those delicious pickled vegetables you made. Buy some fancy cheese to put in there. Add some protein, bacon, egg, grilled chicken work. Salads are meals when done right. Just take care of yourself, eat healthy now and take care of your body. It's gonna be a long time until this goes away. Take care of yourselves and don't fall into unhealthy habits just because nobody is there to judge you.
Make sure to like and subscribe for more stories.